Hello my friends, Paul here, and I thought I'd do another video, a more balanced, more in-depth video, if I could, than the one I did yesterday. The video I did yesterday was a short, almost reactionary type video to the news that Donald Trump has become President-elect of the United States. Now, there's going to be a lot of people in America that are scratching their heads, thinking, how on earth did this happen? But there's nobody in the UK scratching their heads, wondering how this happened. Because for us, it's already happened before. June the 23rd, I think it was, correct me if I'm wrong, we had a vote in a referendum to decide whether we wanted to remain a part of the European Union or whether we wanted to leave the European Union. And over 50%, just over 50% of the British voting population decided to leave the European Union. Now, with that movement, the movement of Nigel Farage and the movement of UKIP and the movement of Vote Leave, it was positioned as an anti-establishment kick to the teeth of the establishment, and it worked. People are dissatisfied with business as usual, and it is exactly the same, almost exactly the same energy and the same feeling that Donald Trump and his team picked up on. People are tired of business as usual, and it isn't just about left and right. The difficult thing to swallow is the right wing in this country and in America picked up on that dissatisfaction. That is fact. The left in America has not picked up on that fact because they have been kicked in the teeth. Now, there were people in America, and I'm going to name some. There were people in America, specifically on the internet, people like Cenk Uygur of the Young Turks. The Young Turks as a whole, they were saying for months, years, that people were tired of the establishment. And at the same time as the rise of Trump, at the same time as the rise of Nigel Farage and people like that, you have also seen on the left the rise of people like Jeremy Corbyn, for example. And the enthusiasm that Jeremy Corbyn has instilled and fostered in young people. I think in today's world they're called millennials. The same thing applies with Bernie Sanders. Bernie Sanders had a wonderful, powerful movement that I have never ever seen in the United States before. And as a 32-year-old disabled man with cerebral palsy, I've always sat on the left. I've always thought looking after people and being there for each other, regardless of race, sexuality, you know, disability, gender, or any of those things. I just thought the ideas of caring for one another and being there for each other. I never was brought up to believe that that was particularly a left-wing ideal. I just thought that's a good idea. So, for me, in America, I'm sorry I'm rambling a little bit. In America, they have not learned the lessons that people are tired of it. People are so tired of the establishment. And Hillary Clinton represented business as usual. She represented corruption. She represented everything that was wrong with the establishment. Now, the mainstream media, they were like, okay, you've got to vote for Hillary Clinton because otherwise we're gonna get a monster and a buffoon and a trickster in the White House. I can't disagree with that. But at the same time, the mainstream media were not understanding that they are a part of the problem. They are a major part of the problem. My opinion, and I could be wrong. Tell me if I'm wrong, but my opinion is that had Bernie Sanders been running against Donald Trump, we might not be having this conversation now. Donald Trump might not be president-elect right now had the Democratic Party in America chose Bernie Sanders. And wherever you sit on the political spectrum, you've got to realize that the days of business as usual in politics is over. It really is. The scary thing for me is I look at the news and I try not to look at mainstream news. I support institutions like the Young Turks and independent media. There's a lot of great progressive left wing people that I like, but at the same time, you can't just ignore the other side. You can't say, oh, they're all racists, they're all bigots, because the truth is they're not. Yes, there is a large portion of that voice that will have latched onto that. But to discredit them all as somehow racist bigots is a disservice to humanity in itself. I think people have to realize that it's a general dissatisfaction whether we agree on the direction the countries and the world should be going is neither here nor there. We all need to get together and figure this stuff out. And again, I'm rambling now, so I'm gonna go pretty soon. There are some things that, as I said last night, really, really, really concern me about Trump's presidency. He doesn't believe climate change is real. I will say to you that I think climate change is the biggest threat to the planet, as I said last night. Bigger than anything, bigger than any borders, bigger than any political difference, bigger than any religion. We're in some deep trouble right now. And if we don't work together to sort this out, then what kind of world are we going to live for what kind of world are we going to leave for our children? The truth is, I don't know what the answer to that question is. But thanks for listening to me ramble again. I appreciate it. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up and all that jazz. And I want to start putting some nicer stuff on here. I've started putting my poetry up, reciting some of the poetry that I write. And I wanted this channel to be based purely on good news. It hasn't worked out so far, has it? Some of the stuff that I've been putting on here has been heavily political, heavily... I don't know. I'm passionate about this stuff. As I said, I'm a 32-year-old man with cerebral palsy, and I don't know. The right doesn't seem to give a shit, really, about disability, about people with, any person with disabilities or any difference whatsoever. I don't know. It's a difficult position we're in. But as I say, forgive my rambling. If you want to check out some awesome, awesome people on YouTube with some other views, possibly from the ones you may have, there's people like Jacqueline Glenn in America. There's people like the Young Turks. In the UK, you've got people like Owen Jones. Even Russell Brand is back as well. Although he hasn't really commented up until at least at the point where this video has been recorded. He hasn't commented on anything. But there's some great people. And I think at the end of the day, we all want what's best. We all want what's best for our kids and our grandkids and our brothers and our sisters, and our parents. We all want what's best. So with that, I'm gonna shut up. And I say thanks for watching. Thanks for listening to this stupid bald man talk. And I will talk to you again soon. Take care.